Hello everyone. This video is for class 12. This is for the students who have opted English core. This is based on the latest pattern of 2022-23 session. This is the first sample paper video with solution on my channel for class 12 for this year. There are others also, you can please check. But for this latest pattern, this is the first one. And this is with solution, and because we are preparing for the paper, every question has a solution along with it. So once you solve it, the next slide that comes is with the solution. The whole paper is like that. In the next paper that I will be posting in a few days, in 2 or 3 days, we will have solution at the end. So that way you can see the time limit that you are taking for solving each and every question. For this first paper, after every question, there is the solution. So let's get started. Let us start with the reading section. Read the text carefully and answer the questions. There are two problems which cause great worry to our educationists. The problem of religious and moral instruction in a land of many faiths, and the problem of arising out of a large variety of languages. Taking up the education of children, we see that they should be trained to love one another, to be tender and to the lower animals, and to observe and think right. The task of teaching them how to read and write and to count and calculate is important, but it should not make us lose sight of the primary aim of molding personality in the right way. For this, it is necessary to call into aid culture, tradition and religion. But in our country, we have in the same school to look after boys and girls born in different faiths and belonging to families that live diverse ways of life and follow different forms of worship associated with different denominations of religion. It will not do to tread the easy path of evading the difficulty by attending solely to physical culture and intellectual education. We have to evolve a suitable technique and method for serving the spiritual needs of school children professing different faiths. We would thereby promote an atmosphere of mutual respect, a fuller understanding, and a helpful cooperation among the different communities in our society. Again, we must remain one people, and we have therefore to give basic training in our schools to speak and understand more languages than one, and to appreciate and respect the different religions prevailing in India. It is not right for us in India to be dissuaded from this by consideration as to overtaking the young mind. What is necessary must be done, and it is not, in fact, too great a burden. Any attempt to do away with or steamroll the differences through governmental coercion and indirect pressure would be as futile as it would be unwise. Any imposition of a single way of life and the form of worship on all children, or neglect of a section of pupils in this respect, or barren secularization will lead to a conflict between school and home life which is harmful. On the other hand, if we give due recognition to the different prevailing faiths in the educational institutions by organizing suitable facilities for religious teaching for boys and girls of all communities, this may itself serve as a broadening influence of great national values. So this was the passage. Let us quickly see the questions. This is an MCQ form, so if you are solving along with me, It will be very nice if you keep marking your options because right after this we have the solution. So let's start. Complete the sentence by choosing an appropriate option. Besides teaching students how to read and write and to count and calculate, our primary aim should be of dash. Let us see the options. Number 1, giving them vocational training. Number 2, molding their personality in the right way. Number 3, providing them free meal. Number 4, giving extra focus on their career. Question 2. Comment on the problems which cause great worry to our educationists as mentioned in paragraph 1. So there are no options here. You have to write the problems. Question 3. List 2 ways in dealing with education of children to solve the aforementioned problems. The clue that I can give over here is what should be taught to them. Question 4. Select the option that conveys the opposite of unsympathetic from words used in paragraph 1. That is personality, instruction, sight or tender. Question 5. How can a student's personality be molded in right way? Option 1. By teaching them to think and to do right. Number 2. By teaching them about culture, tradition and religion. Option 3. By teaching them to count and calculate. Option 4. By teaching them to read and write. Question 6. Based on your understanding of paragraph 2, list one major problem that we face in schools today that these had over the fishing nets being used in present times. Question 7. How can the spiritual needs of children be met? Question 8. Complete the given sentence with appropriate inference with respect to the following. Changes that need to be brought in school are dash. So according to the passage, you have to fill in this blank. Question 9. What would lead to a conflict between school and home? Number 1, government coercion. Number 2, indirect pressure on your young minds. Number 3, giving a choice of single way of life or worship. Number 4, barren secularization. Question 10. Select the most suitable title for the above passage. Number 1, religion and moral policing. Number 2, finding ways of religious and moral education. Option 3, problems of religious and moral instruction. 4, teaching religion in educational institutions. Now let us go through the solution first. The answer of the first one is molding their personality in right way. Question 2's answer. There are two problems which cause great worry to our educationists. The problem of religious and moral instruction in a land of many faiths and the problem arising out of a large variety of languages. So these were the two problems. Answer 3. In terms of education of children, they should be trained to love one another, to be tender to lower animals, and to observe and think right. So we have to write any two if, so any two can be correct. Answer 4th, the option is tender. Answer 5th option is number 2, by teaching them about culture, tradition and religion. Answer 6, difficult to teach a diversity of students about a particular culture and religion. Answer 7, by promoting an atmosphere of understanding, by building cooperation among diversities, building up mutual trust and respect. So any 2 points will do. Answer 8. Every student must learn more than one language. Appreciate and respect different languages. So these are the points that should be here. Answer 9. Barren secularization. And answer 10. finding ways of religious and moral education. Let us read the second passage. Read the text carefully and answer the questions. Since its creation in the 17th century, insurers have amassed policies in each class of risk they cover. Thanks to technology, insurers now have access to more information about the risk that individuals run. Car insurers have begun to set premiums based on how actual drivers behave with telematic tracking devices to show how often they speed or slam on the brakes. Analysts at Morgan Stanley, a bank, predict that damage to insured homes will fall by 40 to 60% if smart sensors are installed to monitor, say, frayed electrical wiring. Some health insurers provide digital fitness bands to track policyholders' vital signs and give discounts if they lead a healthier life. But the data can only go so far. Even the safest driver can be hit by a falling tree. People in connected homes still fall off ladders. But the potential gains from smart insurance are large. First, giving people better insights into how they are managing risks should help them change their behavior for the better. Progressive, an American car insurer, tells customers who used its trackers where they tend to drive unsafely. They crash less often as a result. Second, pricing will become keener for consumers. The insurance industry made $338 billion in profits last year. More accurate risk assessment should result in lower premiums for many policyholders. Third, insurers should be able to spot fraud more easily by using data to verify claims. Over the past 50 years, the US personal auto insurance market has not generally correlated to the economy. But two worries stand out. One is fear that insurers will go from being with two ones that watch your every move. The other, thornier problem is that insurers will cherry pick the good risks, leaving some people without safety net or to be taken care of by the state. Foregone privacy is the price the insured pay receiving personalized pricing. Many people are indeed willing to share the data, but individuals should always have to opt in to do so. Some worry that this safeguard may not be enough. The financial cost of not sharing data may be so great that people have no real choice over whether to sign up. The second concern is to worry that more precise underwriting will create a class of uninsurable people selected out of insurers' businesses because they are too high a risk. For some types of cover, that would be a reasonable outcome. People who choose to drive like maniacs should have a hard time getting insurance. By the same token, it makes sense to offer rewards in the form of discounts to premiums to customers who behave well. Incentivizing people to eat better, exercise regularly, drink in moderation, and avoid smoking would reap huge health dividends. Where things get harder is with risks that individuals cannot control. There are few things that people have less choice about than their genes. One option is to distort the market by requiring insurers to be blind to genetic data. In 2011, for example, Europe banned insurers from using gender to calculate annuities. Now that a man's shorter lifespan are no longer taken into account, that has led to lower payments. Until the interplay between nature and nurture is better understood, it is right to be cautious. Insurers should be able to take note of customers' behavior but not exploit information from genetic testing. However, as data analysis and the understanding of genetics improve, that line will only become harder to hold. Now let us go through the questions. Question 1. Does the following statement agree with the information given in the passage? The insurance industry faces challenges regarding the use of personal data. Select from the following. True if the statement agrees with the information. False if the statement contradicts the information. Not given if there is no information on this. Question 2. What do you think about the author's opinion about Progressive, an American car insurer company? Question 3. Which of the following is or are the outcomes of smart insurance? Number 1, create awareness about one's behavior. Number 2, infringes on a policyholder's privacy. Number 3, discriminates among consumers based on their behavior. So which of the options is correct? A, only 3. B, only 2 and 3. C, only 1 and 2. D, all 1, 2 and 3. Question 4. Complete the sentence based on the following statement. Insurers now have access to more data about the risks that people take. This is because of, and then you have to fill. Question 5. Which of the following is the central idea of the passage? A part. Today customers have plenty of innovative insurance products to choose from. B part. Insurance companies' access to and use of personal data is both promoting and risky. Option C. Of all the insurance products, health insurance is the most innovative and controversial. D part. Using genetic data to access a customer's insurance premium is immoral. Question 6. Which of the following is true in the context of the passage? A. Technology has made it easier to commit insurance fraud. B. Insurance has been around for less than a century. C. The American insurance industry is the largest in the world. D. None of the given statement is true in the context of the passage. Question 7. Why do some health insurance companies give their customers digital fitness bands? Question 8. Complete the given sentence by selecting the most appropriate option. Huge health dash would result from encouraging people to eat better, exercise frequently, consume alcohol moderately, and give up smoking. A part, dividends. B part, earnings. C part, insurance. D part, all of these. Question 9. Complete the sentence appropriately with one or two words. Through the phrase, but data can only go so far, the author wants to convey that a dash can never be predicted by our algorithm. Question 10. Based on a statement of analysis at Morgan Stanley, state a point to challenge the given statement. If smart sensors are installed to monitor, damage to insured homes will increase by 40 to 60%. So these were the questions. Now let us see the solution. The solution. Answer 1. True. The statement agrees with the information. Answer 2. These help consumers modify their behavior for the better. Answer 3. D part, all 1, 2 and 3 are correct. 4th, availability of technology. Answer 5. B option is correct. Insurance companies' access to and use of personal data is both promoting and risky. Answer 6. D part. None of the given statement is true in the context of the passage. Answer 7. To monitor their vital signs and offer discounts if they adopt healthier lifestyles. Answer 8. A part, dividends. Answer 9. Person's behavior. Answer 10. No, the given statement is not true. Analysts at Morgan Stanley, a bank, predict that damage to insured homes will fall by 40 to 60% if smart sensors are installed to monitor safe freight electrical wiring. See the questions of section B. This is creative and writing skills. We have all the questions in the beginning and then the solution after all the questions. Question 3. You are Tushar Tanisha, the school captain of Sarvodaya Kanya Vidyalaya, Delhi. You wish to call a meeting of the Students' Council to discuss the measures to be taken to check the explosion due to crackers in school premises during Diwali time. Draft a notice inventing details in not more than 50 words. So you have to write a notice here. This is optional question. Either you can do that or this one. You are the secretary of the Residents Welfare Association of Sahyog Colony, Delhi. Write a notice in not more than 50 words informing the residents of the colony that there will be no water supply in their area for about a day due to maintenance work. Question 4. As a secretary of a literary club at St. Anne's School, Ahmedabad, draft a formal invitation for all the students in not more than 50 words for the inauguration of club in your school. Or else you do the next question, that is, the literary club of your school is putting up a play Waiting for Godot. As secretary for the club, draft an invitation inviting the famous writer Sudesh Gupta to be the guest of honor at the function. Write the invitation in not more than 50 words. You are Govind or Gauri. Question 5. You have realized the necessity of education and financial independence of women for their family, society, and in turn for the nation. Write a letter to the editor of the National Times highlighting your ideas on the importance of education of women leading to better status for them. You are Taruna of B7/9 Mall Road, Delhi. Your word limit should be, that is, between 100 to 125 words. Either you do that or this one. Draft an application for the post of an accountant in Pioneers Private Limited Co. Qatar in response to their advertisement that appeared in the Times of India dated 1st April 2022. Prepare a biodata to be enclosed. You are Nipun Aparna. Question 6. Traveling in an overcrowded bus can be very upsetting. Pushing and shoving, suffocation, angry faces, and rumpled clothes are facts a traveler has to face. Write an article in 125 to 150 words on traveling in an overcrowded bus. You are Sohan Sohini. This question is in option with the one I'm going to read. You are Gauri or Gaurav of ABC Public School, Gandhinagar, Meerut. Your school has just celebrated the Literary Week. As a secretary of Literary Club, write a report in 125 to 150 words to be published in the school newsletter. Invent all the necessary details. So now let us see the solution of question 3. This is the notice. This notice has to be put into a box. Please draw a box. Sarvodaya Kanya Vidyalaya. So first line is name of the institution. Then comes notice in bold. On the left side, we have the date, and again in the middle we have the heading or the title, that is Say No to Crackers. Let us see the notice. All the student council members are directed to attend an emergency meeting to discuss the measures to check the bursting of crackers in the school premises during the Diwali phase. The details are as follows. Date 16 October and then the year you will mention. Venue, conference hall. Time is 9:30 a.m. onwards. Presence is mandatory. And in the end, you write your name and designation. So either you are Tushar or you are Tanisha, and then you are the school captain. This is the second notice. Residents Welfare Association, Sahyog Colony, Delhi. We'll write the whole thing because we need to mention that the place of the association. Then notice in bold, left side again date, and in the middle, that is at the center, should be the heading, 1 day disruption of water supply. All residents are hereby informed that there will be no water supply in our area for 1 day, that is 15th February, and the year you'll mention from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. due to maintenance work. Residents are requested to make necessary arrangements to store water and use it sparingly. The inconvenience caused is regretted by the municipal corporation. Once you've finished giving all the details, then you'll write secretary and RWA. If the name is there, you can definitely mention the name. Now this is the solution of answer 4. This is the invitation. The principal and the governing body of St. Anne's School, Ahmedabad, see great pride in inviting all the students, teachers and staff members to the inauguration of the literary club. Mr. Chetan Bhagat, the well-known novelist, has given his consent to grace the occasion. The schedule of the program is as follows. Date 18 March and the year, time 10:30 a.m. onwards, venue new auditorium. All the students are expected to be seated in the auditorium by 10:15 a.m. in order to avoid last minute rush. Now this is the second invitation. Since we are writing this to invite Mr. Gupta, so let us see, we are writing from the school. So it is Guru Ram Ray Public School, Mumbai. We leave one line and then we write the date, that is 17th November, and the year. Then again we leave a line and we address the letter to Mr. Gupta. Dear Mr. Gupta, we can even write the name Sudesh Gupta, but this can also be done like this. We request you to accept our invitation to be our guest of honor on 20th November year and witness the rendition of the classical play Waiting for Godot, which is to be presented by our students in the school auditorium. The play presentation will begin at 5 p.m., which will be followed by dinner at 8 p.m. Kindly confirm your consent to be present on the occasion. Yours sincerely, Gauri, Secretary, Literary Club. Moving on to answer 5. Here's the letter that you have to write to the editor of the National Times talking about importance of women education. Let us quickly see how it has to be done. On the top, since my address B7/9 Mall Road, Delhi was mentioned, so in the beginning we have the sender's address. We leave one line, then we write the date. Again we leave one line and then we address the letter to the receiver, that is the editor, the National Times, New Delhi. Again we leave one line to write the subject, importance of women education. Again we leave one line and then address, Sir. Through the columns of your esteemed newspaper, I would like to draw the attention of one and all towards the importance of women education. The nation is working to eliminate gender discrimination, inequality, injustice against women, etc. True women empowerment can only be achieved through girls' or women education. Women are the pillars on which the growth and development of a family, society and nation depend. But she is victim of patriarchal outlook and conservative mindset in the society. She is not given much importance in the field of education. This is more so in rural India. People do not take into consideration that both genders have equal interests and are equally efficient in learning. Imparting education to women will make them financially independent. Only an educated girl can earn her own living and free in true sense and can live freely in true sense. Girl education strengthens economies and reduces inequality. I request you to publish this letter of mine so that people may think over it and start educating their girl child too. Initiatives should be taken to spread awareness regarding the education of females for their better tomorrow. Yours sincerely, Taruna. Now let us see the second question in the letter. This is a letter to apply for the post of an accountant. On the top is the sender's address, after which I have left one line, and then there is the address. Then after again leaving one line, we write to the personal manager of Pioneers Limited, Qatar. Subject: application for the post of accountant. Sir, in response to your advertisement published in the Times of India dated 1st April 2022, I wish to be considered for the position mentioned above. I have an experience of 22 years working in some highly prestigious organizations and firms. I have had my education from reputed institutions of the country. I believe that my exponential growth in this work field makes me suitable candidate for the post. I spare no pains in rendering my duties honestly and devotedly. I attach herewith attested copies of my certificates and my biodata. If you find my profile suitable for the post you offer, I would be glad to come for a personal interview at any time suitable for you. If given a chance, I assure you, sir, that I will certainly win the confidence of my superiors. Yours faithfully, Nipun. Enclosure is the biodata. Now this is the biodata. On the top, write biodata. I've missed it. You can even write CV. You can even write resume. Name, Nipun Verma. Father's name, Shri Mohan Lal Verma. Address you have to give. Then the date of birth, educational qualification. If you have any professional qualification, you can definitely add. Experience you will add. I've written over here TISCO Bhopal since November 1997. You can add anything else. Salary expected I have written. Marital status, languages known, and then references of 2 known personalities. Let us move on to question 6. Traveling in an overcrowded bus by Sohini. Being the cheapest mode of public transport, bus has always been popular among the masses. However, the rise in the number of commuters has led to overcrowding in buses. A journey in an overcrowded bus can sometimes be a terrible experience and very upsetting. Pushing and shoving, suffocation, angry faces, and rumpled clothes are facts that a traveler has to face. Right from the attempt to board a crowded bus to buying the ticket and maintaining our vertical posture and finally alighting at our destination without injury to our limbs or our property all seem to be a serious struggle. Pickpocketers also have a great time in an overcrowded bus. Moreover, overcrowded buses ply on roads posing a serious threat to the lives of commuters, heedless to the guidelines of the apex court. And unfortunately, The common man has no choice but to travel almost daily in these overcrowded buses, as there seems to be no respite from this ordeal for daily commuters. A person should consider himself fortunate if he comes out safely from a jam-packed bus. Talking about my experience in bus, twice I found myself in very uncomfortable positions. Once because a co-passenger tried to relieve his suffering by smoking. Unable to bear the smoke, I moved away quickly. Believe me, it was not that easy. From the frying pan to the fire was never truer than in this case. I found myself next to a stinking man. I moved again. Fortunately, my friend's prediction came true. A young man knight without armor offered me his seat near the exit. My misery came to an end. I resolved never again to travel by an overcrowded bus. This is the next optional question. Grand success of the literary week. This is the report by Gaurav, who is secretary of Literary Club. Gandhinagar. This is the place where this event took place, 18th February, and then you have to write the date, the year. ABC Public School, Gandhinagar, Meerut, celebrated the Literary Week from 8th February to 15th February year. The event was organized in the school auditorium. The famous writer Arundhati Roy inaugurated the event. The principal, the staff and the students all warmly welcomed him. All warmly welcomed her. On the first day, students presented a play that highlighted the importance of books. It was followed by a debate competition and a cultural program. There was a book exhibition open for all with an entry fee of ₹20 throughout the whole week. Old and new books of different genres from different publications and authors were on exhibition during the week. The event also had a book readings by well-known authors like Chetan Bhagat, Amitav Ghosh, etc. The school hosted different inter-school competitions also during the week. The final day was marked by the presence of the former HRD Minister, Mrs. Priti Irani, who applauded the efforts of the school and congratulated the principal and the teachers for success of the event. Now let us start with section C, that is the literature part. Question 7. Read the text carefully and answer the questions. A roadside stand that too pathetically pled, it would not be fair to say for a dole of bread, but for some of the money the cash whose flow supports the flower of cities from sinking and withering fate. Question 1. Why is it unfair to say that these people are begging for a dole of bread? A part, because they are unreasonably begging for money. B part, because they have something to sell. C part, because they don't have anything to sell. D part, as they shamelessly beg for bread. Question 2. Identify the phrase that suggests the following. They plead to the rich city dwellers to buy something. Question 3. The poor people look at the city money for their A part, survival and betterment. B part, sorrow, misery. C part, growth and opportunity. D part, well-being. Question 4. Complete the following analogy correctly. Do not repeat from used examples. A roadside stand that too pathetically pled. So here you have to see pled is to personification, as flowers of city is to what? So you have to fill in here. Question 5. Fill in the blanks with an appropriate word with reference to the extract. The word which signifies the poor condition of the owner of the stand is dash. Question 6. On the basis of the extract, choose the correct option with reference to 1 and 2 given below. 1. The poor people are expecting passerbys to buy goods from them. 2. They want to earn money for their betterment. A part, 1 is true but 2 is false. B part, 2 is true but 1 is false. C part, 2 is the reason for 1. D part, both 1 and 2 cannot be inferred from the extract. The optional question with this is, read the text carefully and answer the questions. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me, doze, open-mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse, and realized with pain that she was as old as she looked, but soon put that thought away. Question 1. Choose the option that displays the same literary device as in the given lines of the extract. Her face, ashen like that of a corpse. A part, just as I had this thought, she appeared and dash. B part, my thoughts were as heavy as lead that evening when. C part, I think like everyone else who. D part, I like to think aloud when. Question 2. What thought did she put it away? Did she put away? A part, she put away her fear that her mother would not live long. B part, she put away her fear that her mother would live long. C part, she put away her fear of travel. D part, none of these. Question 3. Choose the option that best applies to the given extract. Number 1, a conversation. Number 2, an argument. Number 3, a piece of advice. Number 4, a strategy. Number 5, a recollection. Number 6, a suggestion. So which answer is the correct one? A part, options 1, 3 and 6. B part, 2, 4 and 5. C part, only 5. D part, only 1. Question 4. Choose the book title that perfectly describes the condition of the poet's mother. Title 1, You Are Only Old Once by Dr. Cbse. Title 2, The Gift of Years by John Chichester. Title 3, Somewhere Towards the End by Dinah Attle. Title 4, The Book You Wish Your Parents Had Read by Philippa Perry. So A part, title 1, B part, title 2, C part, title 3, D part, title 4. Question 5. On the basis of the extract, choose the correct option with reference to 2 statements given below. Number 1. The poet wards off the thought of her mother getting old quickly. The second sentence is, the poet didn't want to confront the inevitability of fate that was to dawn upon her mother. A part, number 1, can be inferred from the extract but 2 cannot. B part, 2 can be inferred from the extract but 1 cannot. C part, both 1 and 2 can be inferred from the extract. D part, 2 is the reason for 1 and can be inferred from the extract. Question 6. The mother was dash with her mouth open. Now let us see the solution. The solution for both the questions. 7th, first part. First answer is because they have something to sell. 2nd, pathetically pled. 3rd, survival and betterment. 4, metaphor. 5, pathetic. 6, 2 is the reason for 1. Now let us see the second part. First answer, my thoughts were as heavy as lead that evening when. Second one, she put away her fear that her mother would not live long. Number 3, only 5. Number 4, title 3. Number 5, both 1 and 2 can be inferred from the extract. Number 6, dozing. Question 8. Read the text carefully and answer the questions. My elder brother was there. I told him the story in all its comic detail. I fell about with laughter at the memory of a big man and an elder at that making such a game out of carrying a parcel. But Anand was not amused. Anand told me the man wasn't being funny when he carried the package like that. He said everybody believed that they were upper caste and therefore must not touch us. Question 1. What does the story refer to in the extract? Question 2. Making such game means A part, making a show, B part, making it entertaining, C part, doing something nonsensical, D part, playing a game. Question 3. The extract highlights number 1. The issue of untouchability, number 2. The elder man's mishandling of parcel, number 3. Oddities of the bazaar, number 4. Caste system of the society. So option A, 1 and 2 are correct, B, 3 or 4 are correct, C, 2 and 4, or D, 1 and 4. Question 4. The big man referred to in the extract belongs to dash caste. This is an optional question with this question that I am just reading. I got to wishing that you were right. Then I got to believe you were right. And Charlie, it's true. I found the third level. I've been here 2 weeks. And right now, down the street at Delhi's, someone is playing a piano and they are all out on the front porch singing Seeing Nelly Home. Question 1. Who is I referred to? Question 2. Where has I been for 2 weeks? Options are the third level, number 2, Grand Central Station, number 3, Galesburg, number 4, the second level. So which is correct? Option 1, option 2, option 3 or option 4? Question 3. Why I had to believe you? Number 1, I had found the third level. Number 2, I had lost the way. Number 3, I had never found the third level. Number 4, I was still trying to find a way out. So which one is correct? Option 1, 2, 3 or 4? Question 4. What does the date of the letter indicate? So these were the questions. Let us now see the solution. 8th first part. The way in which the old man was carrying the parcel. This was very amusing. Number 2. Making it entertaining. Number 3. 1 and 4. Number 4. Lower caste. The optional question's answer is I is referred to Sam. Number 2. Option 3, that is Galesburg. Number 3. Option 1. I had found the third level. Number 4. The letter dates back to 18 July 1894 when Sam, the writer of the letter, friend of Charlie, didn't exist because both Sam and Charlie exist in the present times. Therefore, it can be concluded that it was just a product of Charlie's imagination. Now let us quickly go through question 9. Read the extract carefully and answer the questions. Food is more important for survival than an identity. If at the end of the day we can feed our families and go to bed without an aching stomach, we would rather live here than in the fields and have that gave us no gain, says a group of women in tattered saris when I ask them why they left their beautiful land of green fields and rivers. Wherever they find food, they pitch their tents that become transit homes. Children grow up in them, becoming partners in survival, and survival in Simapuri means rag picking. Through the years, it has acquired the proportions of a fine art. Garbage to them is gold. It is their daily bread, a roof over their heads, even if it is a leaking roof. But for a child, it is even more. Number 1. Identify the figure of speech used in sentence, garbage to them is gold. A part, hyperbole. B part, simile. C part, synecdoche. D part, personification. Question 2. Rewrite the sentence by replacing the underlined phrase with its inference. Go to bed without an aching stomach. Question 3. On the basis of the extract, choose the correct option with reference to the two statements given below. Number 1. Garbage was valuable for the people of Simapuri. Number 2. Beautiful land of green fields and rivers was important for them. A part. 1 can be inferred from the extract but 2 cannot. B part. 1 cannot be inferred from the extract but 2 can. C part. 1 is true but 2 is false. D part. 2 is the reason for 1. Question 4. Rationalize to support the given opinion. For years, children have learned the art of rag picking for survival. Question 5. Replace the underlined word with its antonym from the extract. Whenever they found food, they pitched their tents, making them their permanent homes. Number 6. The beautiful land of green fields and rivers apparently refers to India, Kashmir, Bangladesh or meadows. The optional question is, read the text carefully and answer the questions. For a moment I thought of running away and spending the day out of doors. It was so warm, so bright. The birds were chirping at the edge of the woods, and in the open field back of the sawmill the Prussian soldiers were drilling. It was all much more tempting than the rule for participles, but I had the strength to resist and hurried off to school. Question 1. Complete the sentence with an appropriate explanation as per the extract. The dash seemed boring to the narrator. Number 2. What were the Prussian soldiers doing? A part. Drilling in the open field back of the sawmill. B part. Chirping at the edge of the woods. C part. Drilling in the open field back of the sandmill. D part. Both 1 and 2. Question 3. On the basis of the extract, choose the correct option with reference to the two statements given below. Number 1. The narrator gave in to the distractions that day. Number 2. The day offered all possible temptations to the narrator. The options are: 1 can be inferred from the extract but 2 cannot. B part. 1 cannot be inferred from the extract but 2 can. C part. 1 is true but 2 is false. D part. 2 is the reason for 1. Select the suitable word from the extract to complete the following analogy. Courage is to strength. Endure is to dash. Question 5. For a moment, I thought of running away and spending the day out of doors. Why did he think so? A part. Because he was late for school. B part. Because he did not prepare anything for the test. C part. Because he was afraid of MHML's scolding. D part. All of these. Question 6. Replace the underlined word with synonym from the extract. The distractions were alluring to the narrator. The solutions are: 9th, first one, hyperbole. Second answer, go to bed without being hungry, half-filled or empty stomach. Answer 3, 1 is true but 2 is false. Fourth answer, for survival in Simapuri, rag picking was the only option. People had been doing it for many years. They became trained at rag picking and did it well. Number 5, transit. Number 6, Bangladesh. The next questions answer are: rule of participles is the first answer. Second, drilling in the open field back of the sawmill. Third, B part. 1 can be inferred but from the extract but 2 can. 1 cannot be inferred but 2 can. Number 4th, resist. Number 5, all of these. Number 6, tempting. Question 10. Answer any 5 of the following questions in 40 to 50 words. Question 1. What were the contents of the package left by the peddler as Christmas gift for Edla Wilmanson? Question 2. Which sadness is Pablo Neruda referring to? Question 3. List the things that cause suffering and pain from the poem A Thing of Beauty. Question 4. Why did Sophie not want Jancy to know anything about her meeting with Danny Cbse? Question 5. Give one example to show that Gemini Studios was influenced by the plays staged by MRA. And question 6. What are interstices? How does Umberto Eco use them? The solution, let us see. Answer 1. The peddler left a package as Christmas gift for Edla Wilmanson. The package was badly wrapped. Inside it, there was a small rat trap and 3 wrinkled 10-kroner notes. It also contained a brief letter written by the peddler to Edla explaining his misconduct. The peddler had written that since Edla had treated him like a captain, he wanted to be nice to her in return. He did not want her to be embarrassed at Christmas by a thief. He had requested that the crofter's money that he had stolen be returned. Answer 2. The sadness that Pablo Neruda is worried about in his poem is the sadness of isolation that has made modern man its victim. This sadness has made man self-centered and uncaring to the needs of his fellow men. He has sacrificed the needs of his emotional self in favor of materialism. Answer 3. The poet lists a number of things that cause suffering and pain such as despondency, depression, unhealthy and wrong ways taken up by humans to acquire their desired goals, etc. The poet also feels that there is a real dearth of noble soul in this world. Answer 4. Sophie knew that Jancy was gawky and could not keep any secret. If Jancy got to know about something, she would tell the whole neighborhood about it. That's why Sophie did not want Jancy to know anything about her meeting with Danny Cbse. Answer 5. The MRA staged 2 plays, Jotham Valley and The Forgotten Factor. These were presented in the most professional manner. The 600-strong Gemini family saw these plays numerous times because of their fabulous sets and costumes. For years, the Gemini Studios copied the sets and costumes in the manner of Jotham Valley. Answer 6. During the course of interview, Umberto Eco talks about interstices, which actually means empty spaces. He utilizes these interstices in doing creative work of writing. Citing an example, he tells his interviewer that while waiting for his elevator to come up, he had already written an article. Question 11. Answer any 2 of the following questions in 40 to 50 words each. Number 1. How was Gondwana different from today's world? Describe it. This is from the chapter Journey to the End of the Earth. Question 2. What was the miracle that took place in the royal palace? Question 3. Why does the author of Journey to the End of the Earth state that in 12,000 years man has managed to create a ruckus on this earth? Now let us see the answers. Answer 1. Geologists say that about 650 million years ago, a giant amalgamated supercontinent, Gondwana, existed in south. At that time, India and Antarctica were parts of the same landmass. Gondwana had a warm climate and a huge variety of flora and fauna. This supercontinent survived for 500 years till the age of mammals got underway. Answer 2. When the Maharaja was a 10-day-old infant, he spoke and asked intelligent questions about his death. After knowing that he would be killed by a tiger, he uttered saying, "Let tigers beware." Answer 3. Humans have been on this earth for about 12,000 years and have created havoc and ruckus on this earth. They have done this by encroaching on the nature and establishing cities and megacities. Their increasing population has depleted natural resources and their callousness towards nature has led to a rise in global temperature. Question 12. In the lesson Deep Water, the author said that he was still not out of wits while drowning. What plans did he make to save himself? Or, why do you think Aunt Jennifer's hands are fluttering through her wool? Why is she finding the needle so hard to pull? Let us quickly see the answers. After Douglas was thrown into the deep end of the pool, he found himself in great trouble as he did not know how to swim. Though he remained in pool only for a few seconds, it was enough to drown him. Douglas got frightened after being tossed into the deep water. But he was still not out of his wits. On his way down, he planned to make a big jump when his feet hit the bottom, rise up like a cork to the surface, lie flat on it and paddle to the edge of the pool. Though he summoned all his strength and courageously tried to make several attempts to jump up, he could not get out of water. Instead, he got panicked, suffocated, dizzy, terrorized and paralyzed during his attempts and experienced the terror that fear of death can produce as well as sensation of dying. Therefore, the plan he made was not successful and at the end he was saved by the same boy who had tossed him into the pool. Aunt Jennifer is victimized by the overbearing and dominant nature of her husband. The fear of her authoritative husband has made her lose all strength and energy, therefore making her hands shake even while holding something as light as a wool or needle. Her shaking and fluttering hands make it hard for her to pull the needle through the tapestry. Question 13. Mr. Lamb's meeting with Derry changes him from a scared child to a confident boy. What qualities and attitudes are required to bring such changes in the personality of the other person? And the optional question is, how did Dr. Sadao manage to send away the white man when the general forgot to send the assassins for 3 days? Let us see the answer. Derry's brief association with Mr. Lamb changes him from a bitter, pessimistic and complex-ridden boy to a mature and confident person. His attitude towards the life undergoes a transformation. He gets encouraged by Mr. Lamb's unending enthusiasm and unceasing zeal to live life. Thus, Mr. Lamb's unfailing optimism helps transform Derry completely. Mr. Lamb's conversation with him about everything and everybody being essentially the same, his notion of beauty being relative, his talk about pretty girls and love, his concept of the world and friendship, and the instant of the timid man all fascinate and inspire Derry. Gradually, Derry is able to shed his old self and rediscover life. He is able to experience the joy of little things of life like raindrops falling pitter-patter on the roof. He even tells his mother, "You shouldn't believe all you hear." Thus, Derry's brief association with Mr. Lamb becomes a turning point in his life. When he meets Mr. Lamb and spends some time in his company, his entire perspective is changed. Mr. Lamb is a person full of life. He tells Derry not to be bothered about what people think or talk about him and embrace life fully. He advises him to keep his ears shut to what is unpleasant, but not to shut himself in a room. He inspires Derry by keeping himself busy in spite of his tin leg and by being open and cheerful. Mr. Lamb's advice proves to be great motivator for Derry and he comes out from his shell. Thus, it proves to be a turning point in his life. And the last answer, the general had promised Dr. Sadao that he would send assassins to kill the prisoner. He waited for 3 days, but the assassins did not turn up. The doctor then thought of another plan to allow the prisoner to escape. He arranged for a boat for him. He provided him with food and water bottles to last for several days. He also guided him to go to another island which was isolated and where no military persons were keeping a watch as there was no habitation. He gave him a flashlight to signal him in twilight hours so that it would not be detected in that light. When the signal stopped coming, the doctor was sure that the prisoner had escaped. I hope this whole video was helpful to you. Do take good care of yourself. All the best for your upcoming exams. More videos to come. Stay tuned. Bye.